Welcome back. We are back with another show of Beyond the Game. If it's your first time tuning in, it's your boy Q Walker, aka Groovy Q, and then we got Black Lives Matter Ralph over. Why you make that face, Tasha?
Carry on,
Okay,
carry on.
okay. And then we got Black Lives Matter Ralph in the
What's up,
building,
world?
and then we got my guy Old Goat Petey in the building,
Yeah, you know what it
Hot
is.
dog.
and then we got my
Hot
hot dog with the
dog.
fresh cut on her today. How you feeling, hot dog?
Refer to me now as Captain Hot Dog. Finally got my
Oh,
boat after waiting 3 months.
Oh, we got a big boy boat. Okay, well, Captain Hot Dog in the building, and we got everybody's favorite podcast, everybody's favorite lady, Mr. Tasha Gransberry. How you doing, Mr. Tasha?
I'm doing well. Happy
Oh
hump
man,
day,
Tasha out
everybody.
here. I need to leave.
No.
No, hot
I need to
dog, no.
leave.
Hey, hot dog, I trained to be a lifeguard. I can help you out.
Hey,
dirty.
okay.
But
Wait a minute. Before we get going, this is the Tuesday show. Why is Ralph on here?
hello.
Oh man,
Ralph.
Hello.
sharing the love.
Hey, man.
I
Sharing
came
the
to see you,
love.
hot dog. I came to
You
see
know
you,
what?
brother.
You know what?
We
I
just
think
gotta
it's
see if he
campaigning
can
for
step his
Ralph to
game
get on
up.
this show because this is where Ralph really belongs.
Is,
He don't
Hey.
is
belong
this where
over
Ralph
there.
belong? Okay,
Talk
you
to
know,
him, hot dog.
I'm mixing match and see what some things work. I'm seeing what
No,
things
no.
work.
The only mix and match you need to do is right here. Ralph can stay. I don't want the rest of that over here.
Okay.
Appreciate
Well,
the love.
well, wait a
man.
minute, hot dog. That kind of, I'm sometime
Yeah.
on Monday. What are you really saying here?
Well, you're
Mm.
on both. You're with us and them, so you're okay.
Okay.
You playing the fence.
She playing the fence.
No, I'm not playing the fence because I don't talk about y'all when I
Well,
get
pick
on the
a
other
side
side.
then.
She knows where
Just
she
pick a
wants to
side
be.
then.
Tasha, the gauntlet's been. He said, "Pick a side,
You
Tasha."
gotta pick a side then.
Lord.
Well,
Ooh.
I can always pick. I can always pick Tuesday because I dare Monday to try me. So it
Ooh.
really don't
Ooh,
matter.
that's what we like to hear right there.
Damn.
So
That's what we like to hear right there.
I ain't never scared.
As
So
y'all,
Absolutely.
as y'all can see, what type of show we about to have today. So let's
You
get right
obviously
on
ain't scared
into.
wearing that Astro shirt.
oh,
Obviously.
never.
Obviously.
Still got that ring too, baby. It ain't coming
Hey,
back.
I like the
Ain't no
Astros.
refund.
I ain't mad.
Ain't no refund policy on that.
Hey,
I'm
Oh,
gonna let,
man.
I'm gonna let all
mad.
them. I'm gonna let all them Dodgers fans have their little game last night. That don't change, baby. You
I
can't
am
change.
a Verlander fan through and through, so
Oh, okay.
I'm a
That's fine.
Verlander guy. So
Mm-hmm.
You see how we rolling on Tuesdays, Ralph?
I see.
You see how we rolling on
Action.
Tuesdays?
it's feisty over here, man. I'm telling you.
Man.
Yeah.
It's like a Jerry Springer
What?
show waiting to happen.
I like
Long as it ain't Amari Povich, we're doing all right.
Yeah.
we good. Man.
No, we good.
No, we good on that.
Our fraternity suits are straight over here.
Man, well, I know what I'm cutting up and posting. But anyway, Pete, man, it was some stuff that went on over the weekend. I don't know if you heard. It was this guy by the name of Jamal Adams. He's a safety for the New York Jets. He got traded to the Seattle Seahawks. So I'm gonna get your thoughts on this last. I'm gonna let you go last on this.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Ralph, Black Lives Matter, Ralph. What are your thoughts? It's a two-part question. So this is the first part. What were your thoughts on the trade from Jets to Seattle for Jamal Adams?
great move for Jamal.
Great move for Jamal. Simple as that.
I mean, the Jets lost another great player. That's what, I mean, it's just what they do. I mean, he was kind of wasting away in New York anyway, so I feel great for him.
All right, Hot Dog, what about you? What are your thoughts on the trade?
I mean, I'm happy for Jamal to get out of that cesspool in New York, playing for a world-class organization, Seattle, playing for a world-class coach in Pete Carroll. But I think the Seahawks gave up way too much.
I'm gonna get to that in a second. Yeah, that's the second part. So,
okay.
Miss Natasha Gransberry, you were a Houston Texans fan. What's your thoughts on the trade?
Oh, it's great to me. I mean, I'm happy for Adams. Just that's where he wanted to do was get out of New York, so that's a win. And I think even if they don't later down the line do the proper thing, it's still a win for the Jets with the picks. That's supposed to be the theory of the win, but that all determines how much intelligence you have at being a good drafter too.
No, I don't put that.
Yeah,
much
that's
stock.
a problem.
Yeah, I don't put that much stock into this. Petey,
Yes, sir.
you have a close relationship with this situation. So, what are your thoughts on the whole Jets trade?
Well, when we woke up, it was like Christmas in July.
Hold on. Before I stop you, who's this we? You keep saying we.
Man, I mean, the whole family, we pretty much
Okay.
knew what was going on in the morning, man. My sister texted me, and she made a little post on Facebook, and she was like, she wants to let the news out, and she was just like, I can't wait till it comes out. You know, we sat on it for a little bit, but we already knew we was excited. Jamal's extremely excited with the opportunity, to bring another Super Bowl to the family, to win a Super Bowl, you know, with the Seahawks. But as far as the trade, I think both sides won. The Seahawks won and getting probably, arguably, you know, my pick, the best safety in the league. And the Jets won by getting picked so they can rebuild, because that's where they at. They have to rebuild. I mean, they need a lot of pieces.
They need a whole new team.
Right.
They need a lot of pieces.
They need a whole new team. So this is the second part of the question right here, Ralph. For this trade right here, was it a good or a bad deal for the Seattle Seahawks trading for Jamal Adams? Did they give up too much?
Like, I don't think so. Like PD said, I think it was kind of a win for both teams, because what are you getting? The best safety in the league. I mean, what are you willing to give up for that? I think they gave up a lot, but at the same time, what you're getting in return is something special. So I feel like it's a win-win for both sides, honestly.
And Hot Dog, you was about to hit on this in a little bit. Do you feel like Seattle gave up too much for Jamal?
Can you give me a review of what they gave up?
So they gave up 2 first-round picks, 2020, 2021, a third-round pick in 2021.
And also, don't forget Bradley McDougall.
And Bradley McDougall, the safety, yeah.
Bradley McDougall is rated last year PFF a top 10 safety. And plus, they gave up all those draft picks. So Jamal Adams arguably is the best safety in football, bar none. I still think Seattle gave up way too much. I would have been okay if it was just one first round pick, but 2, that's a lot. But then again, it's like Pete Carroll said, they don't ever draft really high. It's always in the back of the class, because they're always in the playoffs. So I think it's a wait and see situation. But looking at it right now, I think the Jets got a really good deal. I know it sucks losing Jamal, because he was their franchise player, in my opinion. But I think the Jets got a lot back for Jamal. But
I don't think it sucks for the Jets, because I feel like if they wanted Jamal, he would have been there. They would have.
No. I'm not saying it sucks for the Jets. I'm just saying it sucks that they couldn't come to an agreement or wanted to come to an agreement. But I mean, come on, Mike. It's like I said, the man deserved his money.
Absolutely.
All pro safety. The franchise player. I don't care what anyone says. It's not Sam Darnold. It's not Le'Veon Bell. It was Jamal Adams. Absolutely. So I don't blame Jamal at all for wanting to get out of there. And I think it was a win. I think it's a win for Jamal because of, like I said before, going to a world-class organization like Seattle. And I'm low-key salty. It's not Dallas, but I'll get over it.
Why would he go to Dallas?
Absolutely. Why?
They're not even trying to pay Dak, so they for damn sure ain't about to pay Jamal.
I'm not getting in this Dak situation. You're not goading me to this, especially with Ralph here. You're not doing that today. We're not doing that.
Miss Natasha, was it a good or bad deal for the Seattle Seahawks?
It was great. It was great. I heard you. It was great. It was great, and the reason I say that is because name me the last first round pick for Seattle that's been productive on their team to the point that it's a household name. They have the ability to sign great in free agency and draft deep. So for them, it's not even a matter of if they're always, a low or a high first round pick. It's really because they don't care about the first round. That's not how they build their team. So they don't see anything wrong with giving up the fact that they don't have to pay a first rounder who may not be a starter on their team. They've started more third and fifth rounders than most teams in the league. So it's a win. Adams doesn't have to keep complaining and telling all the dirty laundry of the Jets. So
we was gonna air their ass out.
Stop the bleeding.
We was gonna air their ass out.
Right, but Andrew said Russell, but I didn't say there was never any first round picks that panned out. What I said
Russell Wilson wasn't a first round pick anyway.
I was going there, but my point to him was you're talking about the star. I didn't say they didn't have stars. I said they don't need first round picks to make their team great.
No, I just don't like an Eagles fan like Andrew trying to talk on my show. I don't like that. So, Tasha, I apologize. I wasn't trying to steal your thunder.
That's okay. We can share, hot dog.
man.
We can share. You can share.
I partially agree with all of y'all. I feel like they did give up too much though, and I'm gonna explain why. Is because
Oh, please.
every team in the league knew that the Jets had to get rid of Jamal. You know what I'm saying? So if I know you got to unload him, why am I gonna give up 2 first-round picks when I know you
I
got to
think they
get rid of
panicked.
him?
I think they panicked.
You know,
Who panicked though? The Seahawks?
Yeah, I think the Seahawks panicked.
For me, I don't think they panicked because you know what you want. You go after your guy. What are you
I
waiting
get
on?
that. I have no problem with that. But my thing is, okay, Khalil Mack, you know, he was a defensive player of the year, and they gave up 2 first-round picks, a third and a sixth, and that's for defensive player of the year. I ain't saying Jamal Adams is not good or anything like that, but you give up that type of stuff for a defensive player of the year type of player. 2 first-round picks, that's a lot for me.
I just feel like
Look,
Jamal, he's a
look,
franchise player.
Right. I mean, everybody can't win Defensive Player of the Year, and sometimes it's affected by what team you're on. He was definitely a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He probably just didn't get it based on the supporting cast that ruined his chances. That was one time your team hurt you. I don't think that's a good indication of whether or not it was a good idea. A panic. That's a bad descriptor.
So here's my question. So you look at last year, the Steelers traded for, in my opinion, who could have won Defensive Player of the Year, Minkah Fitzpatrick. They only gave up 1 first-round pick for him. Mm-hmm. And Minkah Fitzpatrick, like I said, could have easily been Defensive Player of the Year as well.
Last year, but the year before when they traded for him, he was not.
They traded for him last year before the trade deadline.
But before he went to Pittsburgh, he was not that caliber player.
But my only argument, hot dog, is what are you waiting on? What are you gonna wait for somebody else to offer something that the Jets want and they grab them? Like,
and then you got to give up. Then you got to give up 4 picks total.
Like, come on, man.
But like I said, that's like I'm telling you, Seahawks. There were other teams, I'm sure. I guarantee other teams are like, all right, we're gonna offer this. We're gonna offer this.
And that's why they didn't get him. That's why Seattle has him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. But that's the argument. They gave up too much.
But you said that. Who says too much? You are what you're worth, and so and what the price will demand. Nobody. Let me tell you something. There's never a sale at Gucci.
Never.
Okay, you might buy. No comment. But my point is, you might buy it on eBay. You might buy it on a third-party site where they don't lower the price after they wore it a few times. But the point is, they don't need a sale. They don't need it. You don't never see a commercial for a sale at Gucci, because if you want it, you'll buy it. And so what the Seahawks said is, we don't even want to spend all this time. Camp is about to start. Here's our offer. If nobody else matching, we'll wait. It won't take long for you to say yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because otherwise it works in the reverse, right? We all know the rumors about Hop. They put on the table 1st-round picks. That's what they wanted. Half the teams went away. They weren't interested anymore. At that point, now your leverage is gone because everybody knows what you want. We're not talking the same thing like when the Texans had to give up. So I know this firsthand, right? We gave up 2 first-round picks because everybody knew we were desperate. We were desperate to get protection for Watson. So you only leave a few teams. Yeah, there's 31 teams, but there ain't 31 options. So you shut down the talk. I think you shut it down.
Absolutely.
You ringing me up for Adams? Hey, Cowboys, you're not paying Dak. You paid your receiver, but we don't even want to hear you right now unless you're talking multiple first rounds, because I'm holding 2 in the bag.
Why you gotta bring up Dak for? I don't know why you got
No. That's bringing up reality on numbers. That's a fact. You franchise your quarterback, but you want to get on the phone and talk draft picks for a top safety. That's already ringing like that
is the weakest position on our team. So it's very valid that they should have called and tried to got Jamal Adams.
Who says they didn't? We'll find out in a week. We don't know.
They did. Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Jerry tried to lowball and didn't get it.
Yeah, and it screwed us.
That's what happened. Seattle came in high, man, but Seattle unloaded these draft picks, man, for a reason, because they're gonna pretty much have to pay Jamal. They know that.
Absolutely.
He's gonna play this year on his rookie deal, and then next summer they're gonna extend him. But I mean, from the Adams camp, I'm telling you that my little brother, he wants to win, and he's in a good
position to do so.
He just felt that the Jets wasn't the best place for him to win.
Of course.
So
yeah.
Before we go to the next time, let me ask you this, Pete. I don't know how much information you can give out, but were the Seahawks one of the teams he wanted to get? Obviously, everybody knows he wanted to go
absolutely.
Dallas. Okay,
He wanted to go where? What'd you say?
Absolutely.
He wanted to go to Houston,
He had
Texas.
a list of teams. He put out a list of teams of where he would like to go.
I would like to hear Q say what
Seattle
he
was on there. The 49ers was on there. The Chiefs was on there. The Texans, the Cowboys, they were all on there. There was a couple other teams that he had on there as well. But I mean, Seattle is the best fit for Jamal right now.
Absolutely. I love it, man.
I love what they have out there. Everybody's excited to have him. He's excited to be there.
Jamal is trading in a winter coat for a raincoat.
Hey, that does not matter.
Oh my gosh.
A raincoat to hold that Lombardi trophy up. That's
Absolutely.
the most important thing.
Absolutely.
That's what the move is for. The move is to win a Super Bowl. That's what the move is for.
Go ahead, Tasha. You got the last word. Go ahead.
I don't know. I watch games in rain, snow, cold, freezing, ice, and I'll take rain all day.
All day long.
So sorry.
Andrew said, I don't know if you know this, Pete. How close were the Eagles? Do you know how close they were? If you know,
I'm not sure who was all trying to bid on him, but I know there was a few teams, but I mean, when the Seahawks put that offer down on the table, like I said, it was a win-win for both parties. The Jets knew that they was going to win the deal, and the Seahawks knew that they was going to win the deal on their end because the Seahawks are trying to win now. They're not worrying about 2022. They're not worried about 2023. They weren't about right now, and they know that with Patrick Mahomes over in that AFC, with Lamar Jackson over there, Deshaun Watson, those are the possible contenders that you're gonna run up against. I mean, they have to have a top-tier safety, somebody that they can put down in the box, that can track these guys down, that can go get them on the blitzes, that can cover the tight ends for the Gronkowskis and all of that.
Can do everything.
He can do everything. He can, you looking at Kittle for the 49ers. I mean, come on now, we taking Kittle out of the game now.
It's gonna be a problem.
Thank God.
So now what you gonna do?
Thank God.
Bobby Wagner's gonna clean up the run. Now George Kittle's gone. Hey, what you gonna do back there, 49ers? You gonna take these L's. That's what it is.
Talk.
Bravo, Cole Diddy, Gus Stanford. That's all that. Yeah, we rivals now. That's what it is. Seahawks game, 12th man, 2-0 this year against the 49ers, man.
Yeah,
I heard it here first.
So, Petey, who win in that division?
It's easy.
We win that division. We might not lose the game. Hey, don't get me started. Don't get me started, Miss Gransbury. Hey, I'm telling you, we might not lose a game this year, y'all. It's gonna get ugly out there in that West.
Michael George, he said, let's not get carried away, Pete.
Hey, I already told Bravo, we are rivals now. Yes, sir. In fantasy football and on the field. You're a 49ers fan. Yeah, it's going down all season long.
Well, we already know if you shut the run down with the 49ers.
Yeah, it's over.
That's it.
Jimmy G is
not it. Jimmy G's not it.
I was gonna say, Pete, what's your favorite line, guys? This ain't it. Oh man, but let's get into a little bit of baseball talk. I mean, the Florida Marlins had 40% of their roster test positive for COVID. It was 14. I think they're up to 16 players now who have tested positive for COVID.
And coaches as well. Was that
coaches as well? The Yankees and Phillies game got postponed because the Yankees didn't want to go in the same dugout that the Florida Marlins was in. So, with all that being said, is baseball in trouble of canceling their season? Miss Gransbury, you got this one. Go ahead.
I actually will say no, and the reason why is because now there's a visual to show. When you don't do what you should do, this is what could go wrong. So baseball got what they wanted, meaning the players. They got to go home. They get to go home and play in their arenas or their ballparks. So now you have to do your part. Like, we got to stop with this, oh, it's just so hard. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Because, and I never served, obviously, but mad respect to people in the Navy. They get on a ship and they don't get off. Everything is affiliated and tied to that ship when they at the water. Like, this is unreasonable. You have all the money and wealth to do what you need to do when you leave the ballpark. Somebody didn't follow the rules. I don't think, because remember, they had already been reported for camp. So it's not like somebody was asymptomatic that long And then all of a sudden, because remember, they traveled twice. They hadn't been home yet. They went to Atlanta, then Philly. So somebody did what they weren't supposed to do. And I think it sets a precedent. Okay, do you guys want to get paid or do you want to sit at home? So make a decision. Tighten up.
Tighten up, man.
Dang.
Be a grown adult. Like, it's like, I understand.
Just be an adult, right? I'm not going to insult anybody's manhood, but just be an adult. You made a commitment. You know, if something happens, it happens. But 14, that somebody did something they didn't have any business doing. And I don't think it was multiple one person. People. That's what I'm saying. And it wasn't one person. It was not one person.
Live on Sundays. Hey, I'm telling you, man. It's hard
wait. But I don't think they got it leaving Florida. I think they got it on the road because they were on the road for a minute. Because like I said, they went to Atlanta first, then Philly, and then start testing positive.
Yeah, they probably. I'm gonna throw this up to you, Ralph. Before I do that, Andrew said the report came out that several players went out in Atlanta, so that goes to
Magic City. I mean, it's not hard to figure out.
The wings are amazing.
Boy, they better stay away from Magic City.
No.
Go ahead, Tasha.
Well, never mind. But
go ahead. Go. This is beyond the game. Go ahead, let it out.
Look, I'm not trying to compare, what's going on. I'm just saying, if they went to see performing arts, that they you got to do your part.
She said performing.
Sometimes you just got to settle for art history in the book, online, something. Performing arts can't always be your first option. You got to grow up just a little bit. So
they just try to get some wings for lunch.
That's it. I understand.
It was harmless. I mean, when they went out.
Okay, get curbside. Get curbside.
Curbside, right.
They need to take.
It was curbside.
Look, they need to check out how Houston Performing Arts is handling it with drive-through tickets.
Drive-through, I seen that.
So, no COVID interaction possibilities. Wow. So I can't excuse it. I mean, it's funny now. It's not funny anything about COVID, but just the fact that would be the option that caused this. I mean, hopefully they went to some restaurant, but if you were using curbside, this is very minimal at this point. When you start reaching, like, man, those coaches, man, they have families too, and they shouldn't have to be at risk trying to come to work. Right. Or even if you're a player and the coach caused it. So I'm not going to put it on the players. It could be either way in this scenario. I just think people are going to have to be more mature. I mean, golly, man, come on.
Golly, man. Ralph, what about you? You think baseball's in trouble of canceling the season?
Honestly, I just think it's based on the numbers. I think how it spreads out between the other teams, the other states, how things go. I mean, that's going to kind of predict everything. I mean, I don't know if it's going to necessarily cancel because of what's happening with the Marlins, but as far as the numbers, if the numbers spike, you have to do something. So I just think go ahead.
So, Ralph, not to cut y'all, here's one funny thing to think about. That was starting Sunday, right? And it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Any Braves test positive?
Not that I've heard of.
Not that I heard of either.
Any of the Philly team test positive?
Yep.
I haven't seen
and that's part of the reason why I say no, because it's going to be based on the spread. If no other teams are out doing what they're not supposed to be, and it's just that one team.
Because somebody ran around the bases, right? So all these affected players ran around the bases, was on a base with the other team, and the other team is fine. Yep. So we definitely know that somebody need to start talking up.
Hey, man, the Marlins are trash. Just kick them out.
That's what I was about to say,
tell them to sit home. They
like
trash
the Marlins
anyway.
are the Marlins, man.
They trash. Just let them sit at home. And the baseball, MLB would not miss them.
Not at all.
Just saying.
Speaking of that hot dog, Andrew said they suspended the Marlins schedule for 2 weeks.
They have no choice. They got to quarantine.
They don't have a choice because they got to quarantine 14 days. They just rotated the schedule.
And we won't miss them. We won't miss them.
Well, all the schedules already had that in place. They made the schedules with the intention of somebody may test positive, including the NFL's fall schedule. So everybody's already preparing. They group the games as such that they can just switch a whole 4-week block based on positive tests.
Yep.
Nobody, like I said.
I mean, 4-game block, not 4 weeks.
Go ahead, hot dog. Go ahead.
I think it's based on. Ralph said the numbers of like teams getting infected and all that. I think it's the numbers of is anybody actually watching?
Oh,
because
what's wrong with you?
Nobody watching baseball. Nobody watches baseball.
So you saying I'm nobody?
Oh, shit.
Oh my
No,
God.
you one woman. You one person. There's a whole nation
Watch
of people.
yourself, hot dog. Watch
I'm
yourself.
just speaking the truth. Nobody watches baseball.
No,
Man, I
you
watch the
don't
game.
watch
I
Y'all
watch
said
the
America's
game.
pastime.
I ain't gonna lie, I watch the game.
Pastime.
You
Look.
might get jumped by Tasha and Pete.
I'm
Look at
just
Pete's
telling
face.
y'all right now, nobody watches baseball no more.
They
You
do,
don't
bro.
watch baseball.
They do, bro.
Let me,
Nobody
let,
watches
me,
baseball.
let me tell you why it looks like
Nobody
nobody
watches
watches baseball. They put
Because of
more
the funny
games on.
cardboard cutouts in the stand.
No, because more baseball games are usually on at the same time and regional. So the numbers always look skewed versus when you put on football, the West Coast is getting everybody's games all the way over. But when you put on baseball, it's just California and Seattle getting that game.
Tasha, I'm speaking on the sole fact of last year that there were no fans in the stands. That's what I'm basing this off of.
That was just for the Cincinnati Reds.
It wasn't the Reds, it's every team. Heck, the Cubs are one of the best teams, and they have empty stands.
You could have went to a Reds game and sat behind the third base dugout for $20.
$10. $10. Actually, $10.
Well, I'm sorry that your ticket came with a hot dog, but in Houston, okay,
it was rocking.
It was rocking.
Yeah.
It's packed.
So,
and not just during the World Series. I go to regular season games, and I went to the World Series games, and the only difference was the price. So
they should have banned the Astros for life after what they did anyway.
Okay, what you're not gonna do is hijack this conversation because I can give you a whole spiel about cheating and baseball.
It was my turn to talk anyway.
I was just gonna let you go, Tasha. I was gonna let you go.
No.
There are no hijack. It's my turn to talk anyway. So
I said topic. Topic. I said topic.
Here you go, hot dog. Floor is yours. Go ahead.
Go, hot dog.
Thank y'all. I appreciate that. I like this look. Thank you. It's a great look. It's a great look. You my guy. So like I said, my point is, all kidding aside, it's just based on the fact of the numbers. You got to have these teams on TV. You got the certain numbers. So, like I said, I don't think anybody's really interested in that hyped about baseball coming back anyway. That's probably just me. But if these teams keep getting infected, if there's another Marlins team that gets infected, then they're going to take action. It's just a wait and see game.
Yep.
I'm done now. Floor is Petey's now.
Go ahead, Petey. Go ahead. You got it before you look like you want to swing on hot dog.
I don't think that the MLB will cancel a season, but I think a lot more people need to look at what the NBA is doing. I think the NBA with the bubble, they got it right.
It makes sense.
They're doing it right, and it costs a lot of money. And I know, and I don't think
they'll make it back.
Major League Baseball has a place that can house everybody, and they can do it like the basketball. But I know that Las Vegas can do football. That's what me and Shelvin was talking about that the other night. And if they need to go in a bubble, I think all NFL teams need to go to Vegas and go in a bubble in Las Vegas. That would be lit. Which I think.
Well, the only thing I would say about that, but the only thing about that is comparing everything to the NBA. I don't think it's fair because the NBA had already played 80% of their schedule versus you have teams who are just starting out trying to figure out how do we play a full schedule. So the NBA, it was a little bit easier because they knew, okay, we just need a couple months to finish this thing out. It's kind of hard to play a 6-month schedule and figure out what city, what state we can house it in and keep people in a quote-unquote bubble. So it would be a lot harder for baseball and football to do something like that.
Right.
Go ahead, Tasha.
I think you have less options, but I think if you have intelligent people, you can figure it out. You need a few engineer mindsets.
Yep.
Hey, me.
Well, hell,
and the reason I say that is because PD brings up a good option. Like, that's a place that could house all of the NFL in decent hotel living. And even if nobody's played in that stadium, so it's not like there's an advantage to that stadium or an advantage to LA Stadium, right?
Yeah.
You can those main
3-hour
stadiums,
bus trip.
Right. And so if you control where everybody goes to play at the same places, and if you're doing no fans anyway, then it won't matter because we know that they can play sometimes at a college stadium if that's what is required. The Vikings did it for a whole season. Right. So if you want it to happen, it can happen. It just takes more planning. I mean, They may need to call up Chick-fil-A and hire some of the people that come up with things at Chick-fil-A because they
Absolutely.
adapt. They adapt
The
to
best service there is.
Man, fastest
Hey.
drive-through ever.
ever. And even now,
Ever.
with no inside open, they still
Yep.
run the most
Moving.
efficient business.
Still moving.
And
I waited there for hours on a Sunday.
Pete,
But-
don't do this.
Did nobody come to the
Pete, don't do this.
Nobody come to the window.
I'm
took the
trying
order,
to get a
man.
Chick-fil-A sponsor. Pete, don't do this.
So no, I don't think it's unfair to compare it. It's not really based on what you're talking about is longevity. And so
Yeah.
maybe you come up with a difference for how you create a break, and how you quarantine back, because you already get a bye in the NFL anyway. So you would actually add another week if you had to add quarantine because you went home. So you just have to make it a little harder, meaning spaced out. But I don't think it's impossible. It's not really about that most of their schedule has been played. It's the commitment. Because remember, before the bubble, everybody was like, oh, we're going to be stuck at these hotels. And, oh, look at my room. It's not 5-star. Oh, look at my to-go steak. And now they don't have one positive test.
Yeah.
Right.
One, not even
mean,
one. So what they're doing is working.
It's working.
Even with the Lou situation, they already have a remedy for that. Oh, you hard-headed? Okay, sit in your room.
Yep.
10 days.
Yep.
I mean, won't they pick one of these states that nobody go to, like South Dakota, Wyoming, and put out a place?
Hotels. You don't have
Yeah.
enough place for people to
Yeah.
stay, because I can tell you, and I'm sure PD know too, like even if you go to a game in Green Bay, you're not staying in Green Bay unless
We stayed in Milwaukee.
You can stay in Appleton or Milwaukee. But I mean, I stayed in Appleton the night before and drove up. But after the game, I went all the way to Milwaukee. Like, you can't realistically do that. It has to be a metroplex. It just has to. So Vegas is a great idea, PD. You need to
Put that call into your
put that out there.
yeah, put that
that
call
out
in,
there.
P. Yeah. But so it's been a lot going on with football, man. I know Ralph wants to talk about this topic. Is that Keenan Allen recently was on Twitter last week, a couple of days ago, with some comments, with some comments about three other wide receivers. I'm sorry, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Tyreek Hill. He said that he was better. He was a better all-around wide receiver than them. Let me see if I can pull up the exact quotes right here real quick. See if I still have it in here.
He said he was tired of being quiet, man.
Yeah,
he's tired of biting his tongue.
So I'm gonna put it up here real quick. So
What?
Keenan Allen said, "Okay, I'm tired of biting my tongue. Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and the list goes on, are not a better receiver than me. Faster than me every day of the week, but separation. Child, please." Mike Evans responded, "First of all, you tagged the wrong Chris Godwin, and don't be mad at us. We ain't make the rankings or care about him. I like the confidence, but be realistic. You are not on my level, bro." Petey, I'm going to let you go first on this one because football's your day to day.
Hey, man.
Is Keenan Allen better than Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, or Tyreek Hill? You got it.
Chris Godwin, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans is. Keenan Allen is better than Mike Evans. They're about on the same level. But Tyreek Hill and Godwin, they.
You see this, Pete? I got something for you. That's for you right there. That's for you, Pete. So you
See,
I'm
said.
just telling you, man.
You can't. Not that favoritism, Q. You can't do
So-
it.
No.
So hold on. You said Keenan Allen is better than Chris Godwin and Tyreek Hill, but Mike
Yes.
Evans and him are on the same playing
Yes.
field.
Right.
I'm gonna address that in a
Right.
second.
I think they equals.
Damn. Okay.
Hot dog. I'm gonna let you get in on this. Like you eager to get in. Go ahead.
Stick to baseball, Petey.
Go ahead. Talk to him then, hot dog.
Nah, Petey, man, I love you, but man, you are so wrong on this. I would say that Keenan Allen might be better than Chris Godwin, just because I don't think we're really seeing what Chris Godwin could do yet. But Keenan Allen is always hurt. He's hurt every single season. So if he's tired of being low on the totem pole, he needs to stay healthy. That's what I got to tell him. Mike Evans, no, he's not on the same playing field. Mike Evans got the speed, he got the size, he's got No.
Like Destiny's Child.
Tyreek Hill is just a freak athlete. The speed, nobody can touch him. But I do I will give Keenan Allen one thing out of all three of those guys. I think Keenan Allen, out of all the receivers we just named, is the best route running receiver.
He is.
He's the best route running receiver.
And the best
That's
catching
it.
receiver. He's the best catcher out of all
He
those.
don't drop the
He got the
ball.
best hands.
He's the best at catching a
So
week
what
or
else
two
do
in
you
the
want from a
IR.
wide receiver? What else do you want, hot dog? What else do you want
Because
from a wide
because if
receiver?
you don't have speed, you just don't have it. That has nothing to do with whether or not you're the best.
And he's never been a
Keyshawn
speedy
Johnson
receiver.
wasn't a fast guy, but he's still one of the greats.
I'm just
You
telling
don't
you,
need
I'm looking.
speed to be
I'm
a great
looking
wide
at.
receiver.
I'm looking at numbers.
What numbers are you
too.
looking at, though? Because I'm going to give you a few numbers. Out of the past 3 years, that's 17, 18, and 19. Out of those 4 receivers, Keenan Allen leads in receptions out of all 4.
Why are we just going to past 3 years? Why are we just going to past 3 years?
Because Godwin's only been in the league 3 years.
So why
That's
can't
what
you
I'm saying.
go?
I don't think
So
we've
why
seen
can't you
what
go
Chris
with?
Godwin could really do yet.
So why wouldn't you go to Keenan Allen's
But
first
wait a
3
minute.
years to compare?
But wait, so
I didn't-
receptions is that
Because
it?
that's going to try to prove a point for you, Q. That's all that's doing. We
So
don't
you
have to
picking
go
and
to-
choosing what
Ralph,
3
is
years
that
you
it?
want to do.
I'm just giving you the past 3 seasons.
that
I'm
it?
just giving. I'm not giving.
No,
That's not it.
wait a
I'm
minute.
just saying.
No,
What
the
do you mean?
receptions. Is that all he leads in? Is receptions?
Yeah, I mean he was second in
Oh, is that
yards
it?
this past
Oh, okay.
year.
Oh, okay.
But what are you
Reception,
giving me
okay.
though? You said stats. You based off stats. What stats are you giving me?
Yards, touchdowns.
You're just telling me Cheetah's faster. That's all you saying.
So what about yards, touchdowns?
I said he's second out of all
games
4.
played. Games played.
Okay.
So you just got reception. So he's another Jarvis Landry.
That's not a bad receiver. Well, I mean, what are you saying, bro? I mean,
I'm just
what-
saying that
disrespect?
he's not on a Mike Evans, a Cheetah. Or
Based off what? Based off
What makes Tyreek Hill so good?
What are you
I'm not
basing
speed.
it off of?
I'm not a
Just his
Tyreek
speed?
Hill guy, so
Yeah, I'm not a Tyreek Hill fan either.
I'm
I'm
not
just asking.
really a Tyreek Hill fan either. I'm not putting Keenan Allen over that guy. But like I said, every time I see Keenan Allen, the guy's always hurt. I didn't even know his receptions was that high.
So
He had
hold on,
104. He had
Hold on,
104 this past
I'm
season.
gonna let Mr. Tasha get in here. Then Ralph, I'm gonna let you go. Mr. Tasha, how do you think about this? What do you feel about this? Is Keenan Allen better?
I stay with Petey. I roll with Petey's observation.
I appreciate that.
And you can look deep off into the sky if it make you feel better, Groovy. It ain't gonna help you. but my point in that is, first of all, I don't know what's this issue with people feeling like you can't say you the best, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me when you look at anyone, if you coach them, your child, you ever told them, don't think you the best? It's like people feel like it's an insult. He should say that.
Can you read that for me?
You should say that.
Isaiah said Evans had more yards and touchdowns last year and played 2 less games. But go ahead, Tasha, finish what you were saying.
Well, Evans probably had more yards because they stayed behind and Winston was always trying to catch
The
him
Chargers
up.
didn't either?
Hold on.
That's not true. That's
Hold on,
not
Ralph.
true what he said.
Let her finish her thought. Go ahead.
I'm saying even if he gonna use yards, we all know that half the time Winston would mess up the game with pick sixes and turnovers, so they would have to throw to get back in a game toward the end, especially fourth quarter. So those are garbage times when that would happen. Now, that's not saying that Allen doesn't have any of that in his stats, but we know it's heavily in Evans' stats from last year. So don't give me last year.
Whoa, wait, so
you might go back to Fitzpatrick or something, but I don't know if you want to talk about last year.
And he's
wait,
Hey, y'all look at Q. He's over, man.
The Buccaneers won more games than the Chargers last year, so the Chargers were more in garbage situations than the Bucs were.
That's
what I just said too.
Look,
Am I right, Q?
No. Well, we played the Chargers last year. We, as in the Texans, and it was a competitive game. It wasn't garbage. So he was bringing them back to try to win.
Yeah.
Heck, we was about to lose.
The Chargers
one game.
The Chargers lost like 4 games in the last minute of the game.
Right, and they lost to their quarterback. The
out.
Bucs was getting blown out and then having to throw quick
week
touchdowns to catch up.
And it's going to continue this season.
What games are you watching? And I know, Q, if you sitting up here acting like you a Tampa Bay fan, you better not think that you don't know how your team was really playing up in here.
That's why he's quiet.
That's why he's quiet.
He better be super super quiet.
He already know they ran the ball 14
No,
times.
I'm
game.
just
Man, you don't even want to see that 30 for 30 for last year.
I'm just letting y'all get it all out. I'm letting y'all get it all out. I mean, if y'all want to talk about
this dude finally get a quarterback back in Tampa Bay, and now
I'm
he
just
act
saying,
like everything golden.
so y'all giving the praise to the Chargers for going 5-11 and saying, they was competitive.
Hold on.
misconstrue what she said.
We definitely don't ever misconstrue me because I'm very good at staying direct to my point. We were talking Allen, and I was specifically addressing he catches the ball from the quarterback. So when you talk about Evans, we had to talk about Winston. We didn't say a dang thing about the whole team.
Come on,
y'all said the Chargers were competitive.
Hold on. The competitiveness of the games they were losing, sir. Not competitive on stats.
So the 11 games that they lost, they were competitive. That's what you're telling me.
Hold on. They were competitive. In the game they lost against us, they were very competitive. They were never more than 1%. Hold on. It's a fact, though. It doesn't mean that what I'm saying is wrong. It just means you can't remember the other games because you probably didn't watch them. So you can't even tell.
No, they're trash. They weren't on TV.
And this dude up in the top corner, Groovy, is gonna lose the groove. He probably didn't even watch enough.
I'm trying to figure out how.
What you trying to figure out?
I'm trying to figure out how y'all compliment them because we competitive. It was competitive for one game.
I'm trying to figure out.
They still lost.
I'm trying to figure out how every time we talk about anything in Tampa Bay, you get so defensive and offended that you want to put them at the top 3 of everything.
I didn't say that they was the top 3. I just said they was better than Keenan Allen. They're not in the top 3. They just better than Keenan Allen.
So Keenan Allen. So where would you rank Q? Keenan Allen, is he top 10 wide receiver in the league? Are you
top 10?
Yeah, he's top 10.
Okay. Yeah, I give him top 10. Yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure.
If he's 10, your guy got to be 9, but your guy can't be 10 and he's 9. So what if we 9 and 10? You gonna argue us to the semantics of 9 and 10?
Nah, I'm gonna just put this up here. What Ike says, 6 of the Bucks' 9 losses were less than a touchdown. We weren't getting blown out. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this up right now.
Why are y'all arguing with them? Because it's 2 Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans going back and forth, agreeing with each other. I don't agree with none of y'all saying.
So hold on.
First of all, let's clarify Let's clarify the blown out concept from my side.
Okay.
You would have been winning had your quarterback not been giving the game away.
Hello.
So you couldn't even play. See, you couldn't even play to the point of winning with the clock running down. You couldn't even go to the run game. You had to keep throwing because your quarterback kept giving the ball back to the other team.
But
30 for 30.
But somehow we still had more wins than the Chargers.
So now we got wasted time watching Evans keep catching balls.
The same way we saw Keenan Allen catching balls in those 11 losses, right?
I don't understand this.
The same way we saw Keenan Allen catching balls in those 11 losses.
And Mike Evans played 2 less games.
So I don't.
So what that mean?
Not our fault.
He got better numbers in 2 less games.
What?
Come on now.
Okay.
That's cute.
He didn't have better numbers.
Come
They just said he had more yards because they just throwing the ball
yards and touchdowns.
Every time the Bucks stepped on the field in the fourth quarter, they was down 10.
He did not have more touchdowns.
So if he was down 10,
somebody at home play stats. Now, Hot Dog, I know you want to ride with Groovy. It don't really matter if you.
I don't want to ride with Groovy. I'm just saying I'm a Mike Evans guy.
No,
Chris Godwin had more yards than Evans last year.
Right, that's the point I'm making though. So you can ride with Evans or you can ride with Allen. That's fine. But somebody needs to really be a statistician and stop just making up stuff and typing it and then throwing it up there because it matches his
Exactly, because he didn't have more yards.
That's the
Evans
part
didn't
I'm
have more
talking
yards
about.
than Allen last year. He did not. Allen's was second out of the 4 players. Godwin was first in yards.
I don't think it's a bad idea for either one of them to be fighting about who's the best. I don't see anything wrong with that.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I agree with you completely, Tasha. I agree with that. But Keenan Allen's wrong.
I'm only Keenan Allen feels how he feels, and he should.
I feel like
Keenan Allen just said that he was better than those guys. He said that the list goes on and on.
Absolutely.
We all know he's not the best wide receiver in the league, but he is better than those
he
guys that he named.
But
he's better than the guys he named.
And I think what he's saying is, which is what most people say, you can't teach speed. So if you're being compared to somebody because of their speed and that's all they got over you, you don't think that they're better than you. You just
So-
think they
Right.
run faster
Absolutely
than
So
you.
right.
y'all
That's
was
it.
talking about stats. So Keenan Allen last season had 104 receptions for 1,199 yards, 6 touchdowns. Mike Evans, 67 receptions, 1,157 yards, 8 touchdowns. So
Because his quarterback threw.
In less games?
and
They
in
were
less games.
they were chucking the ball down the field, man.
That's my point, and he knows
so
that.
so basically,
So
Mike
what
Evans
was the
had-
Chargers doing? What were the Chargers doing?
What was
They-
Philip
they
Rivers
were
doing?
in-
Yeah,
He
what
could,
was the
and
Chargers
he could
doing?
chuck the ball down the field. You know,
Yeah,
Philip don't have that
Phillip
arm no
Rivers
more.
can't chuck the ball
Exactly.
He
down the
can't chuck
field.
the ball down the field.
That's like taking Patrick Mahomes' stats and comparing them to
Hold on.
Lamar's.
Hold on.
It's
You
not
said
even
he
the
can't.
same.
You said he can't throw the ball. Is that what you said?
No. Look,
Not
we're
like he
not
used
about
to now.
change-
Oh, okay. Because you do realize I was
We
just
don't-
looking at this
don't-
that he was third in
okay.
passing yards last year. So how
Yeah,
can
he
you
can't
not
chuck the ball.
So how can you not chuck
Who,
the ball?
Rivers?
But he was
No,
third
no,
in
no,
Yeah,
passing
it was
yards.
all-
no.
all
You-
underneath routes.
Hold on.
Oh, is that
Exactly.
what it
What that mean? It was 30-yard bombs down the
Yeah.
field.
Exactly.
And they wide
Exactly.
receivers,
Come on,
they wide
man.
receivers was making plays because
Oh,
Mike
so
Williams,
Like
all,
Keenan Allen.
so
Mike
all
Williams
Mike Evans
and
is
Keenan
all Mike
But you
Evans
got-
was running go and post
No,
routes. That's all
Yep.
he ran.
But-
Wait a
but
minute,
the
you're
thing
telling
is-
wait, Q.
Hold
You're
on,
telling
hold
me
on.
that Mike Evans had the same amount of yards, pretty much, on what 40 less catches?
On 40 less catches and still had more touchdowns.
yeah.
Come
Oh
on,
my
bro.
God.
Had more
Oh,
touchdowns.
Stop this.
So no,
It's game over.
No, it's not. I'm gonna give
Oh,
you a red.
over.
I'm gonna give you a red
Over.
herring to the same thing. While you got those numbers up,
Mm-hmm.
go look at Hop stats, and then you tell me if either one of them is better than Hop. And look
But
at his
D-Hop
stats.
not,
No.
D-Hop not in the conversation though.
No. You're missing my point. If you're gonna just try to pull me up those stats to only use your argument, I'm gonna show you a better receiver with worse stats for last year as far as touchdowns and the yards. So, because he was dinking and dunking, but it mattered in the game because it was getting first downs. So
Hello.
it depends on what your
Goodbye.
quarterback is throwing you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
you
the
don't
argument-
need to buy.
Because the argument has nothing to do with D-Hop, so we could throw a D-Hop, Julio,
No, that's
OG,
'cause you don't wanna
Odell
look at the
Beckham
numbers.
Jr. So I mean, we could throw up all of them.
Okay.
But we talking
All right.
about these 4 specific receivers.
So
And-
you telling me on a blind spot, you took away those names, and I hand you a piece of paper with 4 sets of stats for receivers, you would have been able to pick out and make your guy above Allen without names. You was
No.
a doggone liar.
No.
without names. And I'm gonna tell you
No.
what, Hot Dog, before he went dark, my guy got 67 receptions and is only 50 yards less than Keenan Allen. And with less
Okay.
2 games to play. So yeah, I'm gonna pick
Okay.
that guy because if he plays those extra 2 games, his stats are gonna be way better than Keenan Allen.
But
So,
you
yeah, I'm
have
gonna
to
pick that
factor in
guy.
them
We
garbage
didn't
Factor-
say,
yards.
we
Factor
didn't
in
say
what?
who had
Garbage
the best
yards.
stats. We didn't say who had the best stats. We said who was a better receiver.
Mike Evans, easy.
Okay.
Mike Evans, easy. The only thing Keenan Allen can do, he got better hands than Mike Allen. I give him. I'm Mike Evans. I give him that. That's it. Ralph
Better
Froze.
route runner.
Huh?
Better route runner.
You can't even deny it because you don't watch enough of the Chargers to even try to say it.
The Chargers
Just leave
don't
it
even have-
alone.
The Chargers don't even have enough fans to watch the Chargers play. But yeah,
That's not
so-
what the Chargers fans' problem is. But go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. But
They
that's
just
fine.
in the wrong. They just in the wrong city. They moved too far away for their fan base to stay connected to them.
Yep.
That 5-11 record might have something to do with that too. But keeping up with the let's switch this
What
over
was
to
Tampa Bay's record?
7-9.
And what was it the year before that?
7-9.
So what you talking about? You got 2 more games, and now you.
What's it-
It's showed the
What's
hell
it
a lot
gonna be
better.
this year?
Oh shit, 12-4, 11-3.
Now-
What you want to call it?
now your team-
What you
your
want to
team is
call
so
it?
much
7-9.
better.
I'm just
Seven-
glad you won't get killed today by Tasha. I'm just glad it's cute, not me.
7-9. You were 7-9 live. Well, put it like this, Ralph. I bet you have a better record than the Broncos.
No. Like you said, the Broncos ain't in this conversation.
With Tom Brady.
That's his squad though. So I bet you we have a better record than the Broncos.
That's cool.
Oh man.
Y'all won't?
Huh?
Brady.
I could. It was going in and out.
I don't think y'all will.
Boy, you on,
Lord.
boy, you on.
Y'all won't.
You
I
on
like
the-
my Seahawks to have a better record than everybody's team.
What you want to put on? Oh man, but
Look, hot
let's-
dog man, look. We gonna bop the Cowboys. I can't wait till we play them in the playoffs.
Who's this
Oh
we?
my gosh.
That's barbecue chicken
Oh,
right
my
there.
goodness.
We.
the
We
Seattle
gonna watch that
Seahawks.
one together. We gonna watch that one together, hot dog.
I'll watch it with you.
Oh man, but we're gonna keep things going right on along. So let's switch it over to the NBA a little bit. Lou Will, he, like y'all just mentioned earlier, he's quarantined for 10 days. He's gonna miss the first 2 games of the NBA restart. Pat Bev just got back to the bubble. Montrezl Harrell has yet to report to the bubble. Zubac, the big man, is I don't know, he's not playing for whatever reason. So Ralph, can you hear me, Ralph?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a little delayed. So I'm gonna go to you last since yours is a little delayed. Hot dog. What are the Clippers' title chances in trouble with the fact that they have so many people in and out of the lineup?
Yeah, considering 2 of those guys we're talking about, Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, may be the 2 most important role players on the team. I think they are definitely in trouble. It's like Skip Bayless said the other day, the Lakers are more of a cohesive unit as of this moment. So right now, all year I've been saying I thought the Clippers were going to win the title. Right now, I'm not so sure.
And that's why I wanted to go to you and Ralph first, because both of y'all had the Clippers picked as y'all favorites for the restart. So Ralph, can you hear me now?
Ain't nothing changing.
It's still.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's still a little bit of a delay though. Okay, you good. So
I don't know, bro.
So are the the Clippers' title chances in trouble with so many players being in and out of the lineup and in and out of the bubble?
Nope. Nah, I don't think so.
I don't even think you believe that.
I'm gonna put it that simple.
I don't even think
I'm gonna put it that simple. I'm put it that simple. Nope.
This guy, he's just saying that because he's anti-LeBron. He don't want LeBron James to win.
He don't want.
That's what it is.
He don't want us.
What y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna do with that AD? AD got an eye problem. What y'all gonna do with that AD?
He only need one good eye.
Plus,
I was about to say the same thing.
He only need one good one out there, especially.
Look,
Okay.
Especially if the Clippers.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not flying a plane.
Especially if the Clippers is only coming out there with the Claw and Paul George. He only need one good one.
So Pete, I can already tell where you going with this. While they Clippers haters, the Lakers haters at the bottom. Do you think this ruins the Clippers' title chances?
Wait a minute.
Oh, absolutely. If they're not at full force, they don't have a chance. They don't have a chance.
Y'all not. The Lakers aren't at full force.
The Clippers won't beat the Rockets if they're not at full force.
They'll beat.
Listen to me now.
Well, look.
Listen to me now. They won't beat
Rockets,
the Rockets.
Remember, the Rockets was giving the Clippers a more run for their money than the Lakers were.
You take her.
Don't forget that.
You take
that's a fact.
You take them guys out there. Now, y'all, we the same height. Oh, they don't want JH. Oh, we the same height. They don't want JH. They don't want Russell Westbrook. Hey, they don't want that.
I love James Harden, but I don't like Russell Westbrook in the playoffs. That's just it.
So, Miss Natasha, I know you got to get out of here soon, so I want to get your thoughts on this real quick. With the players being in and out of the bubble, do you think this hurts the Clippers' title chances?
It hurts it a little bit. They took a step back. And I think we actually won't know what this bubble team, these resurge teams will look like. So we're all going to be like on a P's and Q's the next couple of weeks. And I'm sure we'll have some adjustments in our thoughts. But if you're already losing people that you need for us to think you're high caliber, then that's a problem. And it's not just a problem about the Lakers and the Clippers, because we act like we're giving automatic passes to the Clippers that they're just right there. People are doing that for is they just want somebody to beat LeBron. So whoever they think has the best chance at beating LeBron, they latch on to it. Because the only Clippers fans are people born in LA who are too mad to be a Laker fan. So that's the only base they have. They have a smaller base than Cleveland. So the reality of it is when you're picking them, you're just hoping that they're going to beat LeBron. And that's not even a way to be a fan. That should be so exhausting to keep trying to hope. I'm not even going to worry about the word hate. I'm just being realistic that we know the fan base is
she
small.
a Lakers fan?
No. I've made it very clear. I'm a LeBron fan. Don't ever confuse yourself.
It had to be.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Q is too. He's a LeBron.
We James game.
Hold on. I'm very confident in who I support, and I'm also a Rockets fan, and I'm still telling you that the Rockets will beat the Clippers with or without your bubble people. So so you can have it either way.
How you
Have
voting?
it you get 8 pounds or you can get the king. Have it your way. Whatever
That's
you
right.
want to
He
do.
wanted both ways. This is
Hey,
the claw. This is
Hey,
the claw.
whatever way you want to do it.
Whatever, however.
I got my own performing arts. Don't try it.
Ah.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
So let's see. Isaiah said, "I like LeBron. I just think the Clippers are a better team. How are the Clippers?
Thank you, Ike.
I don't
Thank
understand
you,
how the
Ike.
Clippers are a better team.
They
Yeah.
are
Not
better.
right now.
Not right now, but he's right. They were a better team when people were talking about teams. I just think that people are really in denial about a LeBron effect and a playoff effect. So when you just look at the games that have went on within the season and when they matched up, yes, the Clippers looked better. I'm telling you, the Clippers look better, and you taking a deep breath. That's because you just already waiting for the.
Exactly.
You were so busy hoping I was going to say something about LeBron. You took your breath at the wrong spot, which means you are actor. You an imposter. You just told on yourself. Because I'm straight up giving props.
I took the breath because you
it.
said the LeBron effect, and I just had to take.
I had moved on from that, so you an imposter.
Okay.
You an imposter.
I'll
You
take
got
it.
caught. You got caught.
It's all good.
But no, seriously, like the Clippers are a really good team. I just think that you're being unrealistic about the effect.
I just think that you have to factor in the fact that the Lakers have J.R. Smith. They have Dion Waiters, who haven't really played. No, I'm not even saying like they're garbage. I'm just saying that they haven't really played all year. Like, what are you expecting out of Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith in clutch times? We see what J.R.'s last performance was in a clutch moment. So
I'm gonna tell you what LeBron
the loser.
did. You think LeBron ain't been talking to him for months?
I know. I
Okay,
know.
and
You
you
got
think
that Hennessy
I
ready.
know.
No. Even if it wasn't because they had a player stay out, he still was gonna find a way to get JR for the playoffs. He knows who he can run.
Yep.
Y'all forgot he the best at that mentally. JR know he 0-1 too. JR gonna have his
for
stuff
sure.
together.
Right. He don't ain't no
Yeah.
distractions in the bubble. So
Ain't none.
JR is in the best situation he
Tell
could be
people
in.
you can't hear him. I can't hear him.
You can't hear
He
him?
says no
Nah.
distractions in the bubble.
For JR. So he's gonna
JR.
be locked in.
Yeah, okay. I bet you about that Hennessy with him too.
He-
Yeah, no distractions. My rear end.
They didn't say you can't drink.
Yeah, facts.
God, I don't want to hear no distractions. I don't want to hear that. I ain't trying to hear that.
Man, but Miss Natasha, I know you got to go. You know, we
Yes.
appreciate you kicking it with us for a little bit.
For
I wish I could
sure.
have got you in some of these
Thank you
awards,
for coming on.
but you know, we will definitely have you back. On
Who's your
next
MVP?
Tuesday.
Who's the MVP
Okay.
before she goes?
Man, why even ask her that?
Bye.
Go Petey.
Bye, man.
Hold on, Tasha. Hold on. I want to give you the full floor. Hold on. Okay, go ahead, girl.
LeBron.
No, man, shut up. You
No, I mean,
Oh, my
no, don't get
God.
me wrong. I love Giannis and I got mad respect. But I think when you think mentally about swapping the two, we know what the records would look like. And so at the end of the day, forget even about liking LeBron. Just take him off that team. You think that Lakers team would be where it is right now? Because we already know what AD looks like as the only star on the team. We saw it already.
right.
I mean, even the Bucks. Take the Greek freak off the Bucks. They're not the same team. So.
Right. But
They're
I
in
said
the
if we
playoffs,
swapped
though.
them, they're in the playoffs.
Are they? Are they really?
Yes, they
Yeah,
are.
they
in the
are.
playoffs.
Based
They're
off
not
who?
the
Chris
one
Middleton?
seed. They're not the one seed,
Eastern
but they're
Conference
in there.
Finals, maybe. They're in there.
Chris Middleton's
Lakers
gonna
are
take the
nowhere-
Bucks
the Lakers
without
are in the
Giannis
Tell
in the
me,
playoffs.
tell me 7 other teams that would have had a better record without Giannis on the Bucks. Because that's what you're saying when you say they wouldn't have made the playoffs. Because you got to drop them all the way down below
Eric
8 teams.
Bledsoe.
The
They got
Pacers,
some
the
ballers
Heat,
on that team.
the Sixers, the Celtics, the Raptors.
The teams that are not in, because when you knock them out, you got to bring them all the way down.
So that means you got to bring another
A team that's
in.
not in.
Yeah, you got to bring a team in. So what? You talking about Orlando
You
Magic?
Detroit.
So you can't.
I just don't.
Detroit.
The Bucks are not the same team without Giannis.
No, I
don't
didn't say
even.
they're not. I didn't say they're. I'm not making them the same team. I said the effect would not be as great if you put Giannis on
Nah.
other teams. The effect. So that's how we're supposed to stay with our MVP. The sad part is, in mad respect to Harden, he leads every single stat.
I seen that. I seen that.
Every single stat, but the effect on a team, It's great if you got a bunch of individual stats that don't show to win. So we already know what the problem is with that part. But if you got a better argument, I mean, go ahead. But I'm never gonna worry about it.
It's hard to argue against LeBron, I guess. I mean
well, no, LeBron and I are Capricorns, and when you know you're the best, you're the best. You already know. We don't wait for other people.
I'm a Capricorn too, but I don't agree with the LeBron thing.
What the LeBron thing, or the LeBron is MVP?
He's not. I got the Greek freak. Sorry.
Okay.
Man, you can't give the MVP to someone who don't have a jump shot.
You gonna give it to him back to back? That's what
averages 30 points without a jump shot. I'll take it.
He's in the East.
Okay. The way y'all used to do my boy. He in
exactly.
the East.
Exactly. But now,
yeah.
Oh, I got a little bit more time. I got a little bit more time. No. So that's how you know I'm a multitasker. I handle my business, and they got a little bit more time for me. They let me handle my business.
Okay. Well, then, since you got a little bit more time, we can keep on going with the NBA awards and playoff predictions. Since you already gave your MVP, who'd you say you had for yours, Ralph?
I got Giannis.
Just that easy, huh?
That easy.
Just that easy.
God, I mean, it's only two options. I mean, who you gonna choose?
Yeah,
Giannis or LeBron. So
it is.
I'm going with the Greek freak.
At least you together on that.
Yeah.
I got LeBron.
LeBron James.
What? Oh,
what? What you been smoking over at Hot Dog?
LeBron James.
I got LeBron.
Yeah.
I got LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron is playing better now than he ever has.
Based off what?
I'm just shocked the fact that he picked LeBron. Period. I'm just shocked off of that in general.
I'm a realistic guy. Like who else are you gonna pick? LeBron or a guy that ain't got no jump shot?
You just base it off the simple fact that it's just because Giannis ain't got a jump shot. Is that what we base it off?
That's what I was about to say. Is that it?
No, I just like it.
It's faded out.
Yeah, cut him out. Cut him out.
Petey, who you got for MVP?
You see the name.
We know.
Go James. Go James. I'm going with Brian.
Oh my
LeBron
God.
James.
Oh man, he going with LeBron James. So
of course.
Keep it going while we got Mr. Tasha. She got a couple more minutes. We already did the MVP. So who would y'all pick for the 6-man, Pete?
I gotta go with Lou Will and Montrezl Harrell, man.
Nah, you gotta pick one. Can't go with
I only gotta pick one.
You gotta pick one. This ain't no cold rookie of the year. No,
I'm gonna give it to Montrezl Harrell then.
I can't hear who's he picking.
I can't hear him either, but who'd he pick?
Pete, he picked Montrezl Harrell for his 6-man of the year.
Ooh, okay.
That's who I picked too. I was gonna say Montrezl Harrell.
Nah, he's not been more effective than Lou Will, so I'm going with Strip Club Lou for sure.
Strip Club Lou.
Strip Club Lou
for sure.
What about you, Mr. Tasha? She's going with Lou. She probably got me because she's on the conference call. Okay, she got Lou Will. All right, so that takes defensive player of the year. Petey, who you got?
Greek freak.
Greek freak. So
I gotta give
LeBron James
MVP. Yeah,
so that's the pity award here. You can have that.
Yeah, you can have that.
You can have that. So he got Greek freak. Mr. Tasha, who you got for defensive player of the year? She said Greek freak as well. All right, Ralph, who you got? Who you like?
Double up, Greek freak. Double up, MVP and defensive player of the year. Who's the best player in the league? Who? LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Come on, man.
So you got Greek freak with the defensive player of the year.
Absolutely.
Hold on. So you got Greek freak with the MVP, defensive player of the year, but you still got the Clippers winning the title.
Because he plays for the Bucks. He has worry about the supporting cast. He can't do it by himself.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I got Greek freak as well.
Okay, Greek freak for defensive player of the year, but that's just crazy because man. But anyways, so defensive player of the year, I ain't gonna go rookie of the year. I think everybody pretty much is gonna go with Ja Morant for rookie.
Zion, what are y'all doing?
What he
say? I'm a dookie, man. Y'all see the shirt? Hey,
he said Zion.
See, and that's it's funny he says that. I don't even like agreeing with Petey because he got that Duke shirt on, but I want to say Zion too. He just ain't played enough games. That's why you gotta go with Ja. You gotta go with Ja.
You can't give it to Zion based off of 19 games.
Yeah, he didn't play enough. He didn't play
Ja played 56.
So,
go ahead, Natasha.
That's fairness, right? That's all I was gonna say. I didn't even.
I thought you was on the conference call.
That was my fault. But I would definitely. No, I just had switched headsets.
Oh, okay.
But it's okay. I was listening. But at the same time, I would definitely not go with Zion strictly on the fact
Yep.
that we needed more games.
Yep.
You just can't start doing
Need
that.
more body
I
of work.
mean, he definitely had a greater impact when he
Yep.
showed up, but to collectively give away an award for a whole season, it would just be
Yeah,
totally
it would, for
disrespectful. That would truly prove that they're trying to make him the
Yeah.
face before he's earned the
Yep.
grace.
I mean, because
But he definitely
he got the numbers.
made a back half difference.
He averaged 23, 6, 2 assists, shot 58%, 46 from 3. Like, if you do that all year, it's a cakewalk.
Only 6
Yeah.
rebounds.
The team just looks very different with him on the court. too.
Absolutely.
They look very different with him on the
Hey,
court. I mean,
It's called the Zion
so
effect.
But wait
I
a minute,
believe-
only 6 rebounds?
Yeah, 6
As
rebounds a
big as
game.
he is?
I know. He got.
I mean, he has a wide
He's
body,
a lot
but
more
you know
rebounds
he's
than
not tall. You know what I'm saying?
But he's
So,
explosive though, so
Yeah,
that
he
should get you. He should be at least
And
at
he's so
9
big.
rebounds. You should be at least 9 rebounds. 23.
well, you know
and 9.
what? Half
I
the
get
time he don't. How many blocks did he have? Because half the time he don't have time to rebound because he don't block it to the other side of the court
Absolutely.
for somebody else to have to get the rebound.
Yeah.
That's
So
true too.
when you're
That's-
taking that much
true.
of a leap, you're not gonna necessarily rebound the ball.
You're right. You're right. So let's keep it going. What about Coach of the Year, Petey? Who you got as your Coach of the Year?
I probably couldn't name you one, Q. I ain't
Okay,
even
that's
gonna lie
cool.
to
Don't
you.
even lie to me, dude. Natasha, who you got Coach of the Year? Same thing.
What'd he say?
Wait, who did PD say?
He said I ain't. He said I don't even care for real. To be honest with you.
Come on, P. You can't do that, bro.
What about you, Ralph?
Because he don't want to choose who it is. Go ahead. Did she pick hers?
Who
She
you
was
think it is? Go ahead.
I think it's the Milwaukee's Buck. The Bucks
Mike
head coach.
Budenholzer.
Easy.
Why?
She
They
said
were the
why?
number 1 seed last year. Why?
Yeah, ain't nothing changed.
They lost last year, but that doesn't change the fact that he came back the following season
I didn't say
and
they
did
lost.
this.
I didn't say that. I didn't say anything about them losing. I said they were number 1 seed last year. So what did they do different that made him Coach of the Year?
They did the same exact thing they did last year. I mean, you have to give credit for coming out and producing the same way you did last year, and that we're gonna see if they finish the job as far as winning the chip. But I mean, I don't think you penalize the team for going out and being the number 1 team 2 years
No.
back to back.
I'm not penalizing you, but I'm not going to give you free awards. Who's number
He
2
has
in
that
the West
free.
right now?
Who's number what?
2
I didn't
in
hear
the
you.
West.
The Raptors.
Number 2 in the West.
The
In the
Raptors.
West, bro.
West.
In
In
the
Oh,
the-
the West. I'm sorry.
In the
Clippers.
West.
The Clippers.
I agree. I got you.
Where's Denver?
I want to say Denver is 3, but
3
I
or
wanna-
4. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they was 4 or 5. I thought
I know the Jazz are 4.
Where were they last year?
the Jazz are 4.
Ooh, the Nuggets.
The Nuggets were
Yeah.
they got in at the
They were
5.
pretty
I want to
high
say
up,
like the
like
same
3 or 4.
thing, like
4
3
or
or 4
5?
last year. They might
Same
have been number
thing.
2 for a while.
So everything is lining up the same. So who's been our surprise?
Nobody
The
really,
Lakers.
except the Clippers.
Nah.
The
For me,
Lakers.
I was
Yeah,
going.
but
My
we
Coach
know
of the
we're
Year is
not
going to
giving
be the
it to the
Thunder.
Lakers.
Yeah. I mean,
That's who I was
if you
thinking of.
if you
That's not a bad pick.
I was gonna go with Billy Donovan
That's
with
not
the
a
Thunder
bad
because
pick.
he got
Yeah.
PG's not there, Russ left, and all you got is Chris Paul, but yet you still got
they number 5 or
They
6.
number 5.
And a real
Yeah.
young point guard.
and a real young point guard, and they still number 5 in the West.
Alexander.
I like
I
it.
would,
Okay.
I
I
would
like
go
that.
with Billy Donovan for
Okay,
that.
I like
I like
that.
I
that.
would either-
Because that's
I
why I'm
would
like,
either
if these
say-
teams,
I would
Go
either
ahead,
say
Tasha.
Billy Donovan or Nick Nurse from Toronto.
I wouldn't even say Nick Nurse for real. I really wouldn't even say Nick Nurse.
After losing Kawhi, that's a
after
big
losing
loss.
Kawhi,
Nah, but you still got an all-star in Pascal Siakam,
Third
so
team in the East.
the Raptors are the second. So before we get everybody out of here, most improved player, who would you go with, Ralph?
This is hard.
Most improved. Yeah, I don't know.
Mine-
I got mine.
I bet you do.
Yeah, go ahead, go.
Go ahead, hot dog.
I got Luka.
Luka.
I think he's consistent, man.
Yeah, I
he
don't
gets
think
better.
he-
He's
yeah.
consistent, man.
He gets better, but I don't think there was a
Yeah.
significant jump from last year to this year, even though he's
Big
averaging
change.
29.
I looked at the numbers.
You know I'm gonna go
Big
with
change.
Who?
Devin Booker.
I was thinking
Booker.
Devin.
Nah.
Who?
Hey man, Devin Booker's a walking bucket, man.
He
You can
is,
say
but-
what you want.
But
He's a walking bucket,
But
man.
he has progressed every single season. It wasn't like he was here and then boom, he went
Yeah.
to there. So I wouldn't even say Devin.
I think he kind of get. I don't know. That's a hard question, but I'm gonna go with Devin for now.
So Devin Booker. Who'd you have, hot dog?
I had Luca.
Luca. What about you, Petey?
You gotta help me with his name? What's it? Pascal?
Pascal Siakam
Yeah,
for
man.
Toronto Raptors.
For the
Pascal Siakam.
Toronto Raptors, man.
Okay.
He's solid, man.
Pascal Siakam. What about you, Mr. Tasha?
I don't even think that far down about the award. So
That's
just like,
right there.
For me,
I mean, it's like 3 awards I'm only thinking about. I mean, the MVP,
That's
the
crazy.
defensive player, and the coach. Like after that, I'm like,
man.
okay, we're just trying to make people feel good now. I
But for me, I pick Bam for the most improved. But
Okay.
before we get out of here, Eastern Conference matchup. Who you got, Miss Natasha? Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh, so I'm petty on that. I don't believe you have any business picking that with this bubble situation. I need a week or two. They got some regular season games left before I start handing that out. I really need to see. All of these teams are in a very unique situation, more than we've ever seen before.
That's
Plus,
true.
on top of that, the recent events in the last 10 days. I
That's
think
true.
it would be, I mean, it's just rolling dice. And what's the point? I don't want to just make up a fake topic to say I'm going with this team. So give me, right at the end of their regular season to make a decision to see
I like it.
whose chemistry is gelling well in the bubble, who's struggling in the bubble, because it's
For
a
me?
psyche too. That don't have nothing to do with being scared. That's being
I said he's
realistic. It's
scared.
people finding
I
out.
ain't scared.
No, and I'm saying he not. I'm defending him. He ain't even said whether or not he's scared. I'm on his side that he not. Because even with COVID, people are finding out they have to adjust different. So imagine trying to adjust in a bubble on top of COVID and with your team that's changed. So I'm going to wait. Y'all can have that fake.
Honestly, I didn't even think about it that way, but I mean that's really a good answer. I mean, because everything we basing it off of is the past, what they did before everything happened with COVID. So we really don't know what teams are going to look like, how they're going to gel coming back. You're hopeful that LeBron is going to be the same LeBron.
Who said he's thinking about LeBron?
Because
I didn't say nothing.
that's the only person you talking about. Keith.
I ain't
You
even said
know
no-
about
I ain't
Zion,
I ain't said no words.
Look how Zion slimmed up. Slimmed up. We
That's why
don't know what that's about to do.
We do have to kind of wait and see how the teams play, how they mesh, and you know what I'm saying, how things roll, and then we can go from there as far as who we're going to pick. But, yeah.
Scary. Go ahead, hot dog.
The Bucks.
I'll play along. I'll play the
That's
scenario.
what I
I hear
thought.
what these two are saying, but I'll play along. I'm gonna go with the surprise. I got Milwaukee, and I'm going with the Miami Heat.
I like it.
I'm going Heat Sixers.
I can't hear Petey. What's he say?
He said Heat and 76ers. Of course he is.
Yeah.
Of course
You got
he
faith
is.
in Ben? You really got
Yes,
faith in Ben?
You see that 3-pointer?
He said, you see that 3-pointer?
Bro, anybody can do it
That
with
one
nobody's guarding.
3-pointer.
That's all it takes.
He said that's all it takes.
That's
Yeah, I
all it
got
takes
you.
to get that confidence, huh?
That's it.
He's been looking for that confidence for 3 years.
He should. He's been talking to a
Most
shot
men looking for a
psychologist.
woman that long too. It happens.
Absolutely.
You're right.
On that note, we're going to wrap up today's show.
Oh, no card game today.
My
card game
bad.
today.
My bad.
Look at him. You want to play
I
the card
forgot.
game. Come on, hot dog.
He didn't
That's
want
good.
He didn't want me to follow up. He wanted to cut me off. See how he wanted to go running. Go run
So,
off
anyways,
the truth.
thank you, Hot Dog, for bringing it up. For the people tuning in for the first time, we play these card games where they pick a number. I pick the card out of the deck based on that number to help you guys get to know us a little bit better. So, Ralph, since you got to go, you go ahead and pick a number.
Did I have to go?
Yep.
I'll go ahead. We can go with 7.
7. 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4,
man.
5, 6, 7.
God. Here we go with this. Shit.
Hold on.
My favorite part of the show.
I know. I don't know why. I mean, it's this is a simple question for you, man. It's real simple for you. You shouldn't have to run. I know you're not going to be able to see it. So, would you rather be the best player on a horrible team or the worst player on a great team?
Man.
He
That's
said
like
on
a
the
hard
bench before.
question, bro. I mean, because the whole goal is to win. But I mean, if you're on a team, you definitely don't want to be the garbage player. So,
So
I mean,
what? So what's
that's
your
like
answer?
LeBron in Cleveland in the early years.
We
you know what I'm
this ain't got
saying?
nothing to do with LeBron. This ain't got nothing to do with LeBron.
Let us know. Have you said on the bench
Honestly,
before?
just because I want to be the best, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna be the best player on the worst team.
I actually agree with that. I agree with that because if you the best player on the worst team, there's gonna be a better team want to pick you up later on.
Absolutely, man. I get it in the future.
I just think of how good the team would be if I was the worst player on any team.
Go
Next
ahead,
person.
Doctor.
How
Go
good would
ahead.
the
Next
team
person.
be?
Pete, we're not gonna do this today.
Man,
I'm not doing this with you today. Hot dog, go ahead. What you got?
give me 3.
1, 2, 3.
AI.
Make it easy on you today.
No, it's a real. Oh shoot, almost dropped them. It's a real easy question for you. I know you can't see it, but I'm put up there anyways. Which living person do you most admire?
That's a good question, man.
Oh man.
Great question.
Man, I don't know. I ain't even thought about that. I have no idea.
Which living person do you most admire?
Give me a minute. I'm gonna think about it. Give me a minute.
Go ahead. I'll come back to you. Petey, what you got,
All
baby?
right.
Give me the bottom one.
The one on the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna just flip it up. I ain't even gonna do
Yeah,
that.
that's it. Just
I had this one yesterday. Was Monday. What makes you feel old?
And you a coach too.
Yeah, I mean, just the kids, man. My kids growing up, the TikTok. I think you hit on that. The music, me getting up in the morning, man. Me getting up in the morning, man. That makes me feel old, man. Because I used to could just hop up. I like say if me and KP's going to work out. I mean, now I have to stretch. When Q, we used to just go pick up the
get up and go,
basketball,
yeah.
go and just go.
Get
Now I
up.
have
Oh
to
my
stretch,
gosh,
man.
y'all are
it,
so young.
Man.
Keep
Mr.
living.
Tasha?
You know how the old people tell you keep living.
Man.
I'm
Mr.
much
Tasha,
older than y'all. Keep
what you
living.
got, baby?
28.
20. Okay. Is
Man,
there a
making it
specific reason why
Yeah.
you went with 28? That's a random number. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Yes, it was my homeboy's birthday yesterday.
1, 2, 3, 4,
That's what's up.
5, 6, 7, 28. Shout out to him. Oh, I don't think you've had this question before, but this question got a lot of response on a previous show that we had that you were a part of. And put it up there. What's something weird that you recommend everyone tries at least once?
Oh, we still on that.
Yeah.
Woo!
Shit.
So I'm gonna give a 2-part answer. One would be something
Okay.
you physically have to do, and then one would be something you eat. So
Okay.
physically, I think everybody should zip line upside down and
Oh,
backwards at
Oh,
the same
shit.
time.
That's why I say
And
no go.
one, because you free yourself. Like you free yourself from everything, from heights, from being able to see where you're going, and so you learn to you actually have faith, right? You got to have faith in everything. You got to have faith in the system that you let go of. You got to have faith that you can make it to your destination at the other end of the tree, because people get stuck in the middle too. And so it was just like, for me, I didn't like pass out or wasn't in a coma or something, but I really had a life affecting experience like the week before. And so when we got to the place, zip line, and they said you will get to go in reverse upside down, I was like, yeah, because I thought last week my whole life was changing forever. So I'm just saying something like that, it'll make you think like, okay, can I go again? So I remember it like it's gonna be there forever, and I'm glad I had that memory. Now, food, I had this weird thing. So I don't eat cheese on pizza. I don't eat cheese on hamburgers.
Wow.
I barely eat cheese with Mexican food.
Hey, I don't like cheese either. We there.
Well, it's not that I don't like cheese, because I eat shredded cheese on tacos, but it can only be shredded. And I eat dip, but it mainly has to, the texture has to be right. I'm a texture person. But what I do recommend is going to the movies, getting popcorn, putting that oil on it because it is not butter,
Not at all.
and buying the nacho cheese and dipping the popcorn in the nacho cheese. Don't pour it on top.
I've done that.
You got.
I've done
oh my
that.
God, it is so freaking good.
I've done that.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what it is about that cheap cheese for them nachos and that
Wow.
popcorn. But when they come
It's just the
together,
mixture of everything.
yes, when they come together, and
I'm
it's
with
so
you.
it has like a little spice kick to the cheese.
It's
And
so
you,
good.
oh my gosh, it's so good. So I know we're
It's
not
so
going to
good.
the movies right now, but I will be honest. I have stopped on the way home before and bought some of the cheese and popped some popcorn at home
Wow.
to try to get that effect back.
Right.
So
Wow.
yeah, I would do
There it
that.
is. Zip line upside down and cheese and popcorn at the movie. There it is. Pete, give me a number, man. Throw out a number for me, Pete.
I went, didn't I?
No, I'm saying for me. Throw out a number for me.
I'll give you.
Yeah.
Let's go with 11.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I already had that question. If you had a teacher
Go
class
12.
So this is my question right here. If you could undo one moment in your life, what would it be?
Yes.
Is that the
Oh, that's a good
question that
Ralph ran from? Yeah, that's
hung
the
up
question.
on?
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So with that being said, we want to thank everybody for
Oh,
tuning
my
in to
God.
another show Beyond the Game. We get ready to get on up out of here.
Absolutely.
Hey.
One moment you can undo. Damn. Hot dog, you go ahead and go while I think about this, man. The person you
All
admire.
right. This is gonna be. I was thinking about this. It's gonna probably blow your minds, but I gotta go with Dak Prescott.
What?
To have that much
Because
confidence.
this man really thinks he worked this money, knowing dang well he sucks, and he don't care.
Hot
I
dog.
respect that.
You gonna take his
6
money?
years done.
You
I
gonna
respect
take
it.
his moment to
I don't
disrespect
like
Dakota?
him. I don't like him. I
Oh,
wish
my
Andy Dalton would start
God.
quarterback. I respect the hell out of what he's doing. I got to give it to him. The man has got confidence up to the ceiling. So I admire that, man. But you still suck, Dak. I hope you can hear me. That's my answer. I
don't
admire
get it,
that.
man. I hope y'all get everything y'all want in Andy Dalton. I really do. I really do.
So I was sitting here thinking a lot of different options came to my mind, man. But I'm gonna try to be on my best behavior. So one thing that I wish I could undo in my life, one moment, is that I wish I never pissed in my baby mama's boyfriend's car. I wish I could undo that moment.
Damn.
Hey, that Q is something, baby.
Damn. I didn't expect
That's my
that
dog.
one, bro.
That's my dog.
Yeah.
My dog.
Oops.
I wish I could undo that moment because I have
Hey.
yet. Yeah. What?
Why'd you do that, brother?
We ain't got time to go into that.
You
We already been on the
some,
show.
okay.
You should have
We
ate
been
some
on-
asparagus. You should have ate a whole
about to
thing
say,
of
you was
asparagus
big-
before you did
You
I
was
mean,
mad or something, bro. You was
I mean,
trying to
if
prove
you-
some type of point. So
if y'all got time, I can tell the story. I don't know how much time Miss Natasha got. I mean, if y'all got time, I'll go through the story.
Oh
real
my
quick.
God, I got
we
4
got time.
minutes. Go
You-
ahead.
go ahead.
Okay.
4 minutes.
Because
Okay.
I got to figure out what gets the mind wrapped around.
Okay, so
Wow.
I'll try to speed this up. So, anyways, this was about my daughter's 11, so she was probably 2 or 3 at the time, I would say. So, anyways, I was working at the airport here, and I never ever, and I'm pretty sure Tasha, some of your homegirls could probably attest to this part, but I never ever pop up over anybody's house. Like I just don't do that. But driving on my way home from the airport, I got off at like 12 o'clock or midnight, right? So I'm driving home, and I'll be damned if on the way home the wind blew my car and it took an exit, right? Right?
I'm mad that you put my homegirls in this, but go ahead.
Because some homegirls, they would be like, I ain't never gonna pop
Now
up
tell
over a
your
dude's
story.
house.
Don't divert to me.
Yeah, tell
Okay,
your
You gonna
so
story.
do
anyway,
that later.
so I never pop up over a woman's house, but this night something told me Q right past her crib. Q right past her crib. So like I said, the wind blew me on her exit, right? So I'm driving, and Pete and I don't know if Hot Dog Ralph. This is out Taste Creek area. So
I
I get
got
off
you.
on I get off on the Taste Creek exit, and I'm riding down what is that, Taste Creek Road? Yeah, Taste Creek Road, right? And it's a car right behind me the whole entire way, right? So I'm taking the turns into her apartment complex, and every turn I take, this car behind me is taking as well. Now keep in mind, this is 12:30 at night. So I pull in her apartment complex, and I turn around to where I'm facing out, so I can see who's coming into the entrance, right? And I'm like, I know this better not be him. This better not be, because I knew she was
Oh
talking to
my
a dude at the
god.
time. So I said, I know this better not be him. So the dude pulls into the parking lot, parks. This is I forgot the name of the apartment complex, but anyways, he parks in the apartment complex. So I'm sitting in the middle of the parking lot, just sitting here, just looking. Right, homeboy gets out the car and walks and goes into my baby mama's crib. Oh hell no! So
Snap, crackle, pop.
I immediately get on the phone, right? Call my baby mama. She answers. I said, I know my daughter better not be in the house. Don't you be calling her with that. I said, I seen them go up in the crib. My daughter better. Don't be worried about where your daughter's at. And keep in mind, I'm sitting in the parking lot, and
Oh my god.
I can see my daughter's light on in her room, so I know somebody better be able. So I'm sitting here arguing with her. So I'm like, put him on the phone. I ain't going through this. I said, well, tell him come outside then. I ain't telling him nothing. I said, well, just tell him come outside. I just want to talk to him real quick. And she was like, I'm not great. And she was like, I'm not great. Go through this with you, Q. I'm not great. So she hung up on me, right? So I'm heated at this time, right? So I call up my dude Fred, Pete. I call up Fred. So I call up Fred, letting him know what's going on. I'm like, man, I'm woo, woo, woo. And he was like, I was like, bro, I won't bust his windows. I won't slash his tires. And Fred is like, bro, you can't do that. You gonna go to jail. What about your daughter? Woo, woo, woo. And so I was like, man. So I go to Buddy's car and I lift up the door handle and I said, oh, his door's unlocked. So I get in his car, right? So I'm in the driver's seat, right? I know, Tasha. So I get in the driver's seat.
That's crazy.
And Fred is on the phone cracking. And Fred is on the phone cracking up. And I'm like, I'm going through the mail. I'm gonna find out where he live at. So I'm going through his mail in the car. So I'm like, okay, I found out where he live at.
He
so
snapped.
All in all, by the time I got done do what I gotta do, I'm getting ready to leave, right? And I'm like, man, I can't do nothing to his car. And Fred is like, nah, bro, just go home. Just go home. Keep in mind, this is July. So at 12:30, it's still 70, 80 degrees outside. So I said, well, can I piss in this car? And Fred started busting out laughing. He was like, yeah. So I said, cool. So I opened up the back door, pissed all in his back seat, shut the door, and went on to the crib.
That's all you needed was permission.
That's all I needed was the okay, dog. And I wish I could undo that moment in my life, man. I wish I could undo that moment.
That's classic Q.
God.
That's why I love my dog. I love my dog.
Oh my god, bro.
We ain't undoing nothing, Q.
We ain't undoing nothing. So, yeah.
I will never look at Q the same way.
Not one of my proudest
Ruby
moments
Q.
in life. Not one of my proudest moments.
I won't make you mad, that's for sure.
It was just one of those things where, you know,
Look at
Tasha man, look. Hey, man.
How old was your daughter?
That's why I said she was like 2 or 3 at the time. I can't remember.
This
2 or 3.
is why me as a woman, I used to tell my friends, don't date a dude with kids under 5. He ain't got his head mentally wrapped around that he don't own his ex twice, and he thinks he can control what the SWAT do because he got the kid over there. So until you can see he got his head wrapped around that correctly,
man. Yeah.
Don't fool with him because it's gonna be some revert back, some constant arguing. Always talk like you can tell in about 3 days where his head is with that chick.
He said, put a name on it.
Put a name on it, Q.
His
Put a name on it.
No, don't.
Look.
Don't,
Let me put my headphones in for this one.
Don't. No, on that note, you as a licensed attorney in Kentucky, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it, bro.
No, I was just gonna say, Tasha. No, I was just gonna say I don't remember I know his first name. I can't remember his last name to save my life. I don't know his last name.
Don't do it, bro.
Say good night.
But yeah,
I'm glad I don't have to. I'm not gonna even try to have a visual of that. Just gonna. That ain't no R. Kelly moment. Just
Q, was it
have a good night?
Was it a long one? Was it paying for a long time?
You gotta remember. I had just got off from work, bro. You know. You gotta remember, Pete. I had just got off of work, so I got some built up, and I've been on the phone with Fred for about 45 minutes, so it's been built up. So
yes, sir.
When I let it go,
and
the funny part before we end this show, the funny part about this is when I went to go see my daughter in Columbus last year, I asked her about this situation. I said, man, did homeboy ever say he got in his car and it smelled like piss? And she was like, who? And I gave little buddy's first name, and she was like, She's like, nah, he never said anything. I just left it alone. I just
Yeah.
So that's even crazy. He just riding around with piss in his car. He just took the L.
He
just
took
took
the-
He probably still ain't washed his back seat.
Man, but that
Yeah, I bet he still got that card.
Man, that was crazy though. But man,
Damn, Q, that's a good one, bro. That was a good one, bro.
That is a great one.
Damn.
man, but yeah, man, I'm old. I'm more mature now.
Absolutely.
Man.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I doubt it.
I love it. I love it. She said, "I doubt it."
I have Tasha. I've grown past that, Tasha. I'm a different
I love my
man
guy
these
Q
days.
though, man.
He's a
Oh, my
changed
God.
man.
I think it's
I'm
the
a-
consequences. I think only the consequences are more severe. Sometimes people don't
You might
really.
be
The
right.
consequences
You might be
control
right.
you more. That's all.
true.
For
That's
certain
right.
things.
That's very true.
You
That's
might
not
be-
an
yeah.
insult to you. That's just
No,
saying.
no,
the
no.
That's true.
No,
That's
I
life.
agree.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. No, it's not that
Tasha,
you
I'm
won't do
digging
it.
those
It's just
glasses.
it's just you fear the
Oh,
consequences
thank you.
of it.
I gotta go be professional now, so I'm gonna have to let y'all go.
Okay,
that's
Tasha,
a
we
good
Greg on it up out here. Everybody, we appreciate
All
y'all
right.
for tuning in. Tasha, we
Peace
appreciate
out,
you for
guys.
kicking it with us. Everybody, make sure y'all go like, comment the page. Make sure if you follow Beyond the Game on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Make sure you go listen and stream the podcast on different streaming podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Store. What's his Ike said? He said, "Call me or inbox me." But man, we appreciate y'all for kicking it with us today. We're gonna go out here. We want you to treat
Man.
somebody how you want somebody to treat your mama. We out of here.